We are at this place this morning for this wonderful day. How are you?
I am pretty well.
Yes.
I am happy to be here as the chairman of Embu College.
Yes.
This is a grand occasion for us. This is that occasion we have a careers day for schools, secondary schools in eastern and central provinces, and I believe the previous two have been very successful occasions, and this one should also be a very successful occasion. It's an occasion in which we actually get a whole variety of professionals, mainly from the universities in Kenya, to talk to young people about how they should pursue their career options. and what are the opportunities now and in the future are seen by those knowledgeable and experienced professionals. This occasion we do not charge the schools for, because in many ways it is part of the social responsibility of the founders of Embu College to promote education in this region, and particularly professional and technical education, which is what Embu College offers. And in doing so, really our vision, not yet there, but our vision is really to make this college the center of professional training excellence in the region, if not in the country. We don't know. In 100 years' time, when I'm gone, maybe somebody will make the ultimate dream come true, and it's to make this the ultimate center of excellence, maybe in a whole country.
Mr. Chairman, you have talked of one of the social responsibilities of the Embu society.
Yes.
What other social responsibilities do you think your college will be undertaking maybe in the future?
Well, really, one of the aspirations also, for example, we have is to put up some facilities like a unique theater hall, maybe even a swimming pool. These are facilities which are missing for the institutions in this region, as a way also of promoting even maybe drama and extracurricular activities, and bring it to a higher notch for the schools and the students and the youth of the region. We think also if it is within our plans to, once especially we have completed the hall, to bring public lectures, bring professors from all over the world to come and help people communicate with the rest of the world. We would like to see Embu College as one institution which connects Embu to the global village. That is really part of our aspirations. We would like to maybe start also with some particular training of the teachers in our primary schools and in our secondary schools and other colleges. We probably want to take this particular careers development initiative one step further by organizing special training sessions for them, so that instead of just waiting for an occasion like this one, we know it is happening every day in our schools, because that is really at the heart of what we seek to achieve for the Embu community, and in that sense, therefore, for the realization of the aspirations which drive the founding of this particular college.
Thank you so much.
Your values. What is it so important in life that you want, that guides you in your choices? May they be ethical. That is the one that determines the good and bad that you think is so important. May they be economic, because there are some people who are here, even in front of me here, who have chosen careers because they are going to gain a lot of money out of them. And there are others who are here because the career fits the thing they like most, not because it is going to give you a lot of money, like myself. I mean, not much money like myself. But I'm sure if I ask people what they earn here, there are some who earn hundreds of shillings. And some of us earn tens of shillings. Others choose careers because it's going to serve the community. The social values. Like I was saying, when I went to Embu College, my purpose was to come and serve the community. And I want to mention something little about classification to arts and sciences. And to me, classification of knowledge into arts and sciences, it is like what we call dichotomizing knowledge that we have or careers. In the sense that we think that a certain class of us are going to be in arts and others are going to be in sciences. It also assumes that you have no choice except within those two limits. So once you go to arts, you can only choose a career in that area. Once you go to science, you can only be in that area. And it also assumes that you have been properly exposed to the right and comprehensive information to enable you to make the right choices in those areas. Now, I want to say today that the life that we lead today does not work that way. We have to be flexible. When there was O-level and A-levels, we knew that when we left Form 4, you either go to arts or sciences, so that you are destined to be in arts or sciences. But at the present, we don't know. I mean, we don't have that kind of a classification in our schools. The statement that I made that various universities and colleges offers various courses classified on art division and on science division, let me say that does not happen. Any university that you go to, any college that you go to, the subjects are clustered or put into certain divisions for the convenience of teaching. If you go to JKU Art, where our keynote speaker comes from, or you go even to the University of Nairobi or to DESA, the university is not divided into arts and sciences. It is divided into those areas for the purpose of convenience in teaching. And it is the responsibility of the student to visit those areas and do the subjects that he has made choices of. The universities or colleges are divided into departments. Some are divided into schools and others into colleges. And so when you go there, you cannot say that I am going to the arts. You are directed to pursue a certain degree depending on the way that you have performed in the secondary school. It is now the decision of every student to decide where he or she fits best depending on your background as far as your credentials in terms of the school performance is concerned. Now, how do we determine career choices or preferences? There are several things that determine how we make choices as far as careers are concerned. Again, let me reiterate that when we were in Form 4, those choices were made for us. But now, depending on how you have performed in the KCSE, the Joint Admissions Board looked at your transcript, at your result slip, and depending on how you have passed, you are put into a certain career. In other words, what we are saying is your performance, the way you have prepared yourself, is the one that determines which career you are going to go to. First of all, the choice of careers is determined by the values that you have. I have mentioned the word career values before. There are those things that you think are very important in your life, and you hold them so dear that whatever choices you make, they are determined by those choices. One time, I was working with a person who was a friend, and he did not have any job at all. And he had a choice to go and work in a petrol station or in a bar. And he had to make a choice. The problem was that the bar had a lot of money to give, but working in a petrol station was not going to offer him a lot of money. But then on the other side, he was a professed Christian, and he could not see how he was going to work in a bar and supply beer to people, and at the same time tell them that I am saved. Our careers, our choice of careers is determined by the knowledge that we have. I don't want to think that when we talk about science, it is just because we want science. I mean, we want to be scientists. But it's because of the knowledge that we have. How many people would like to be scientists? But because they don't have that knowledge, they can never be. I wanted very much to do physics, but for some reasons, I was not very good at physics. I enjoyed the experiments that we did. I enjoyed seeing the others do experiments in physics, magnetism, and all that. But then, for some reasons, the knowledge was not getting into my head very well. And therefore, I never went to a career that required my performance in physics. But when I talk about knowledge, I'm not talking about subjects only. I am also talking about whether we have the knowledge of the careers that are available to us. And that is why we have got guidance and counselors, because they can tell us what is available outside there. Again, something very funny. When I was in Form 4, there was an advertisement about Egerton University. And there was the emblem. And on the emblem, there is an animal that is there. And so, I focused more on the animal than what Egerton used to do. And I did not understand why they are putting a poster on our notice board about an animal. And so, as I went to Egerton University, college, I never knew what it was. But I wish somebody had come in person to tell me, we at Egerton College, this is what we offer. But somehow, I never depended on the animal, I depended on what I heard later, and therefore I went there. Many of us, we don't have sufficient knowledge on what is available outside there, and we need it. And if we have any careers masters here or mistresses, please inform the students on what is available, not only in the universities, but what various subjects can lead to. Knowledge also on the social trends. Now, when I talk about the social trend, I'm talking about how things are going. Sometimes in 70s, people are going to Uganda to buy coffee and come and sell it in Kenya because it was earning a lot of money. There was a lot of smuggling. But people never realized that one time, this coffee is going to get finished. And so many people put up buildings where people going to buy coffee in Uganda, they could sleep in around Bungoma, where my friend Wanyama comes from. They put many hotels. And a time came when that coffee was not available. And many of the buildings that were put up, they had no value at all. A few years ago, the government introduced the idea of retrenchment. And people were given money, which they could use to go and start certain businesses. And at that particular time, some people were very successful in poultry keeping. And so, I think over 50% of the people thought the best thing to do with this money is to keep poultry. And the market became so flooded that poultry production became useless. I'm sure you know, in Embu, quite a number of places I have gone, I have realized that we are not taking care of coffee this time. The reason is, there was a time that was very productive, very profitable, and then all of us went that way. Consequently, the value of it has gone down. What I'm trying to say is, when we are preparing people today, what are we preparing you for? When you say that I want to be an engineer, is an engineer going to be very valuable 10 years to come? When you want to be a doctor, a nurse, or somebody related in that career, is that opportunity going to be there by the time I am ready to be called a professional? We started a course the other day in clinical medicine and surgery, and it is so popular that every year we get up to 1,000 applicants, and we want only 40. What is the job market going to be in some years to come? Because many times we prepare for today, but not for tomorrow. And therefore, we need to find out what is the trend of the kind of a job that I am preparing for. Many people are now going to commerce and business education. How will it be? Is the market likely to be flooded some years to come? Then we have the attitudes as another determinant. All of us, as we grow up, we develop certain attitudes towards certain careers, towards certain things. I like this, it is very good. I like this because I have seen somebody who is very good because he is pursuing that career. I would like to be a doctor because I like saving the lives of people. That's an attitude. And because of attitudes like those, we choose careers in those areas because we want to be like those people. You know, attitudes are very strong and very important. I remember for a long time, I was not eating raw tomatoes just because they were red. And I did not like any red thing because it was reflecting blood. And therefore the idea of eating a red tomato was out. I don't like driving. I wouldn't like to be a bus driver. Why? Because every time I was struggle with a policeman. And therefore, even if I have an opportunity, I'll never do that one. I'll never be a doctor. Why? Because once I become a doctor, every day I'm going to be on call. Therefore, I cannot make an appointment with anybody in the evening because I can be called at any time. Those are the attitudes that we may develop, and they determine what career we are going to have. And then, as I have mentioned before, the available opportunities. What are the jobs that are there in the market? When I am told to do a curious science, a BSc in a curious science, do I understand it? Where are those people going to? When I train in this particular job, what is that job going to lead to? And we need to understand those opportunities available to us. I think it is wonderful Because in a time like this, various people or colleges or universities can come and exhibit what is available in those institutions, so that you know, if I want to go to JKUAT, if I want to go to Nairobi University, if I want to go to DESTA, what is available for me in that place. Many times, I have met students who come and tell me, I made a choice like this. In fact, a few weeks ago, somebody came and told me that I made a choice of this particular degree. But now I realize that what I was thinking about is not what it is. As I talk to the students, I would wish that when you are making a choice of a career or what you want to prepare for, have knowledge of what that degree is all about. And thank God that today that knowledge is available either through your teachers or through inviting people to come and talk to you. Then there is influence from others. I am glad that the previous speaker talked about or mentioned that sometimes we make choices not because they are ours, but because our parents have told us this is the right job for you. And the parents that are here, please, let me make this statement. Be careful when you are telling your children that this is the best job for you. It is good to discuss it with him or her. If you want him to go to that direction or her to go to that direction, develop the interest and the attitude. Yesterday we had a graduation ceremony, and one of the people that was graduating told me sometimes early in the year she was doing a diploma in farm management, and told me early in the year, I am very happy that I have passed and I have completed this particular program. That was my mother's choice. Now I'll go to the career that I want. And you can imagine deciding again to start again. So please, let us know that it's possible to be influenced by others, to be influenced by our peers and our leaders, to choose a course that is relevant to us. Many times, I have seen people coming to tell me that I help them change from one career to another, from one degree to another, because their children made the wrong choice. And the father is so strong in trying to influence me to change the choice of the daughter or the son. But I don't see the son. I don't see the daughter. I only see the father telling me, please, I want you to put my son into this particular area. And when that choice is made, those of us who are in the universities, we are left with the problem of the son saying, you know, I was not interested with this one. Can I have an interfaculty transfer? Another determinant of the career choice is our visions. What is it that you want to be in the future? And this is something that we need to think about as we go along. We need to think about what we want to be and think about it seriously as we make a choice. Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be an engineer? Do you want to be a surveyor? Do you want to be a politician? What do you want to be? And then prepare for that. Something that we don't talk about very much is that we need to have a spirit of initiative, creativity, and self-confidence as we select our careers. Initiative in the sense that I want, or rather I would go to areas which I think are good, and they are not there, but I would like to start something new. Creativity in the sense that I want to start something good. Even if there are jobs there, I would like to start something by myself. And that requires initiative, creativity, and self-confidence, and self-discipline. May I ask you, we have very rich people in the country. One of them is Jenga Karume. One of them, who has passed away, is Mulo Mutisia. Rich people, they have risen to even become ministers. How much education do they have? Very little. Never went beyond standard 8. But some of us cannot reach them where they are because they took initiative. They were creative enough. And they told themselves, I want this. I want money. Or I want this. And they have been successful. In Nakuru, there is somebody who was a bicycle repairer. That man, if you talk to him, there is very little that he can speak to you in English. He doesn't know any. But he has got one of the best hotels that we visit, even from the university. My friend here knows, I'm talking about a hotel called the STEM Hotel. That man was a bicycle repairer. And after being a bicycle repairer, he started selling spare parts for bicycles. And eventually, he did so well that he is one of the influences of the community. Now, having said all that, and the fact that we are talking about arts and sciences, may I say that when you look at jobs today, they are not determined by that. And I am glad that Professor Ibuka said that we fear mathematics, especially the ladies, because we think that math is for men. We think that certain people are born to be this. I want to say, when you put all these things that I have said together, it is not whether you are in arts or sciences that is going to help you choose the best career. But how you determine, how you have you create the knowledge, how you have the foresight of what you want to be. And then ask yourself, what can I do with the knowledge that I have? Many of us here, I don't know whether being a principal is a career. It is. Where did you go to learn about being a principal for 4 years? My friend here, the chairman, he has just given me a card that says he works with a very prestigious organization called Price Waterhouse. This is a consultancy firm. I don't know where you went to learn about consultancy. It is something that you develop because you are in interest, because you are in values. I told you at the beginning, I was going to be trained to be an agriculture officer. And I never became an extension officer. And I never became one, even a single day. The moment I went to Egerton, for the first 3 weeks, I was told Yes, you are here studying agriculture, but when you finish, we shall expect you to go and be a teacher. And I said that does not matter because I am boarded for only 2 years. And after 2 years, I will resign and go to the extension work. And I was convinced about that. And then, it didn't take a number of months. I started working as a teacher in January. And in April, I got a letter saying that we have got a scholarship for you to go and study for a degree. And the only condition is that you come and teach. I had given myself 2 years. I had started teaching. And now I am being told, after studying for 2 years, which I had given myself, I am going to teach again, and I was going to sign on board to work for another 2 years. My friends, what I am saying is that we need to understand the opportunities that are available and prepare for them and be flexible. Don't just look at yourself as a person in arts, as a person in science. Yes, there are those areas. But I want to say, ask God, what would you have me to do? Just like Paul asked. When the Saul of Tarsus, he was going to Damascus to punish Christians. On the way, he changed his career. Instead of being a man who was an enemy of Christians, he became a friend and he started following somebody else and he became an evangelist and a missionary. What is it that you are going to be? What is it that God wants you to be? As you study your subject, think about that question. There is something that helped me very much when I left Kangaroo, or when I was just about to leave. I said, God, put me into an area that you think I'm going to serve you best, and I'll do my best. And when I have finished, to your satisfaction, change me, and I'll go there and do my best. I was a teacher in a secondary school. I went to the college, and I taught there. Now I am mainly an administrator. I never prepared for that. But I have kept myself open to the opportunities that are available. Keep your eyes open.
Professor Kaduri, we are very grateful for that. Nobody expected you are going to finish at such a high note. Let's appreciate him again. I welcome Embu High School for presentation. We are going to be followed by Kiri Mari. So I wish if you don't have to make a movement, but if you think you can just move for 2 minutes, you can.
Teachers and my fellow students, on stage, Jen Yaga from Embu High School. They let sing a KM folk song. The song was sung to young girls before they get married. Welcome.
Mosunio que ne torora, ruara 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 sonjo, ruara
Please, let's have Kirimari on stage.
Yes, I'm a fellow student. In front of you is Kirimari Secondary School, ready to entertain you with a Luo dance entitled I hope you all enjoy. Welcome.
Go to